What is up, YouTube? So last night I had a skirmish in a low-sec galaxy that I went to far, far away from home. LOL. I got 4 kill marks, well, 3 kills, and 1 previously from a Venture video that I uploaded. LOL on that one too, which I had no reason to kill a Venture, but you know they weren't paying rent, or either that or abusing rocks. One of those two, and I can't stand for that. I cannot stand for rock abuse. Anyways. Moving on to the fight that involved those 3 pilots specifically. One was a coercer. I actually had the kill models. Should have had it already pulled up. One was a coercer. Actually, it all started with this first dude right here, Mr. Toby Garza. Mr. Toby Garza and his Mackinaw. Did my research right fast on the pilots and system, found them doing a mining operation, and saw the barges. And it's like, okay, this dude's got a skull. I'm gonna go after him first. He seems like the most dangerous. It's like, all right, cool. Went after him, destroyed it. His pod stayed there on grid for about a good solid second. I could have honestly locked it up and then just volleyed him and deleted him off grid. Either way, I didn't. I focused onto the next mining barge, which was this guy down here, I believe. Yes. Open. Oh, that is him. This guy, sorry. And then I just volleyed onto him. By that time, the rats had showed up. The rats didn't hardly do any fucking damage whatsoever. Past that, I downed him, sunk him, and he actually had a porpoise that was on grid, and I was contemplating on going between the porpoise and his 2 alts, which were there on grid with us as well. So he had Adams Miner and Adams Miner 1, and then his porpoise pilot, which is his main one, which was Adams something something, Adams L something. Down them, and then all of a sudden, this dude just shows up on grid from a different station that was off to the right of me whenever I'd bookmarked and set up this entire system. He tries to tackle me, and he's just zipping around me, just cutting circles. It's like, oh, you're really cute, buddy. Okay. I lock him up right fast, and then a few quick volleys gets him all the way down in the hole. He has a fraction of health left in his hole. 1 volley left, and he's just gone. I have to reload. I have to sit through that reload time. It's like 15, 10 seconds, however long it takes for Hams to reload. I'm not entirely sure. I can pull it up on my fitting. But I reload, 1 volley, deletes him. And by the time I had downed these 2 guys too, and he showed up and got tackle on me, a Falcon decloaked and showed up. And I was like, oh, okay, this is great, cool. The Falcon immediately starts burning to me, so I'll start overheating prop mods and stuff, yada, yada, yada. He jams me. I start volleying him. I get him down to about 20% health, and then I kind of like fall out of range because I'm trying to like burn away because they start bringing more stuff, like a Loki, a Tengu, a Proteus, and just multiple other things. Like, this escalated very quickly, and I'm very upset because it was a 20-minute situation between me and just starting with like a handful of guys. Well, 1 guy and 2 of his alts, and then 1 of the other dudes. Like, it escalated very fast, and I was not expecting it. There's a lot of rookie mistakes that I made though, like not overheating to begin with on my shield rep mods, which saved my life too, by the way. Not overheating my prop mod as well. That also was a big mistake that I didn't do in the beginning, and I realized it, but I quickly fixed it and corrected my mistake. That got me away from getting out of scram range to where I could just zip off and warp away to a bookmark, and then just continue watching them and make my next move. Oddly enough, after that, they just cloaked up the Falcon and the Loki, the Loki and the Proteus and the Tengu they had, and kind of dispersed. And they just left the other procurer that was there, the other procurer pilot, and the porpoise. It was like, oh, okay, that's funny. I assumed that he was in Bastion mode and he went directly down, so he couldn't like warp out or do anything. I'm not too sure how porpoises work. I haven't been a porpoise pilot before. Haven't been a mining foreman. Nothing of that sort. But yeah, I warped back. I tried for the second procurer. I got him down to half armor before they did the same routine where they tried to get tackle on me, get a Falcon on me, get a Tengu and other things on me. It was just a step-by-step process that I just knew how to get out of, so just immediately burnt out of, away from tackle range, warped to the bookmark, cloaked up, and waited. By that time, they started to like start a search party for my bookmarks around the station, because I had scouted this system very, very many years ago. It had been like 2018, maybe 17 or 15 possibly that I had scouted the system long ago and set up these bookmarks. So I had them pre-made around this moon, and some of them where they had dropped their Athenor, it had already like it. My bookmarks were there in their Athenor, and it was just there. I could like warp within their Athenor if I wanted to. I feel like, or it might have like bumped me off their station. I don't know. So I deleted those, got them out of there, so I wouldn't cluster myself up, mess myself up, or anything. But I could warp to any point and just have like a nice little drop area zone of like, cool, yeah, I'm over here now, and I could decloak and they think I'm over here, and they just go and search this area, just warp to a different one, decloak over here, and it's like, oh shit, he's over here. They just scatter out and go searching that way. It was so funny. In that process, I think I helped them also set up bookmarks, which is good, and kudos for them because they weren't running tight security for their mining operation. I mean, I could have called my buddies and just been like, hey, these guys are just sitting here in local, because I spent 30 minutes just scouting beforehand, watching these guys, seeing what they would do, just doing what I do. Make sure that they, aren't bait. I mean, they clearly were bait, but it escalated, and I was able to keep my cool and handle the situation the way I did. I walked out with like 3 hunt kills, got 3 kill marks on my Tengu, and one of them was an actual PvP kill. Woohoo! I mean, I don't just go after miners and industrialists. I mean, it's just they're there and they're unsuspecting and they think that they can just go AFK in space, and that's not the case. You undock, you consent to PvP. High sec, you're not safe. I could get a 3 million destroyer and just go and blap a venture out of the face of existence right now on a .8 system, and there's nothing you can do about it. Sure, I'd lose my $3 million catalyst, or Desi, or whatever ship that I end up using, but I mean, I can still do that in high sec because they give me the freedom to lock somebody in high sec. They give me the freedom to press F1 in high sec space. You're not safe in high sec space regardless. And back in my day, whenever I was an industrialist and building ships and stuff, I can't remember if it was Goon Swarm or Brave Initiative or something. I can't remember who it was specifically. They just constantly would do raiding parties against high sec industrialists and mining parties and barges and stuff like that. And it would be destroyer gangs. They would just come in and just blap them and just delete them off the face of existence. And it was ridiculous. It was just the worst sacrifice that anybody could make to like their kill board, I felt. But it was a cheap loss versus what they were going after versus like procurers and this and that. It was only a $3 million loss or 3 million ISK loss, so on and so forth. So there's like, yeah, we can afford this loss. So only fly what you can afford to lose. It's 2 golden rules of youth. Just realize that anywhere is PvP. But like, subscribe, share. I just felt like explaining, the kill mills. I knew I promised my court mates the video of what would have happened, but sadly it got corrupted in the save, like I said, and this is this is the content I'm having to provide with you. It was a very fun fight, especially whenever the Falcon decloaked on grid and just couldn't do anything, not a single thing, and I started volleying him and shredding into his shield and his hull. It was very funny. I almost had his shields completely stripped, and he was almost a hull, or not hull, but armor. So, well, like I said, like, subscribe, share, comment. Appreciate the views. Bye.